1320 KLWN, Lawrence.
It will be a long time before this weekend goes out of the mind, the front of mind of all of us in the United States and perhaps many, many people in the world as we contemplate what has happened in Orlando, Florida, and the nonstop, constant news coverage of the horror of yesterday and all that has now been learned about what's been going on. At some point in time, I realized I wish we could just shut it off. I realized that yesterday as I got ready to go to church and was watching those early morning news reports on television and checking in with various news sources on the internet. What in the world? Just kept asking yourself the question, what in the world? And then yesterday, of course, the coverage continued throughout the day and into the night, and it seemed like each one of the TV networks in the local news portion of their shows last night in the 10 o'clock news segments covered only that story in Orlando, Florida. Almost nothing else except for the local weather and some sports. But the bottom line is that this is something that we've known, I think, that this could happen. This is the kind of thing that could happen. And now I don't know if there's a solving of this problem. I don't know how you solve or resolve this problem. I don't know what the next step would be in stopping this kind of horror from ever occurring again. And it perhaps will never be stopped completely. But now, at least, maybe some people who've just been kind of, how are you going to ever get that? Maybe some people now that have been on the sidelines, not really caring too much about it, will finally be shocked enough to listen and start thinking, as well as many of us who've been thinking about this for a long time, because we may not have seen the worst yet. The worst yet, and you hate to say that, but it may still be coming. And now we can just hope and pray that those people in Orlando who are directly involved and have had the terror and the shock and now the sorrow of losing loved ones will be comforted by their friends and family and all of us in the nation as they go through these next few weeks getting through this time. And so our prayers for those in Orlando, Florida, and to anyone who's been through this kind of a terrible incident, our thoughts as well. And now, as is our way, we go on with the story of us, and the rest of the country goes on about its business and takes care of business, and that's kind of the way we do things. We'll not forget this day yesterday. We'll remember it, but we all will now continue to do our jobs and hope and pray and do everything we can to see that perhaps, maybe, we someday will be able to add at least something helpful to stop something as terrible as this from happening again. In Lawrence, Kansas, it's a long way away, but all of us, I think, in some way or another, know somebody or have been there in Orlando for much different reasons, and our thoughts are today with them and will be for a while to come.